Level 1, the junior trader. You're 24 years old, fresh MBA from Wharton. You just got hired at Goldman Sachs, Commodities Division, Oil Trading Desk. Starting salary, $150,000, plus bonus. You're living the dream. You grew up middle class. Your parents were teachers. Now you're on Wall Street, trading billions of dollars. You feel invincible. Your job is simple. Execute trades. Senior traders make the decisions. You press the buttons. Buy 50,000 barrels of West Texas Intermediate. Sell 30,000 barrels of Brent crude. The orders come through, you execute. You don't ask questions. You don't need to understand the strategy. You just need to be fast, accurate, reliable. Your first week, you notice something strange. The senior traders seem to know what's coming. Oil prices spike, they'd bought contracts 3 days earlier. Oil prices crash, they'd sold everything 2 days before. They're always ahead, always profitable. You ask your manager how they do it. He smiles, says experience, says market intuition, says you'll learn. But you're starting to realize it's not intuition, it's information. Information you don't have, information that isn't public, information that shouldn't exist.
Level 2, the information broker. You're 32. You've been trading for 8 years. You're good at it, really good. You're making $500,000 a year. But you've learned the real game. The real money isn't in trading, it's in information. And you found a source. His name is Hassan. He works for Saudi Aramco, the largest oil company in the world. He's a mid-level production manager. He knows how much oil Saudi Arabia is actually producing, not what they report to OPEC, what they're actually producing, the real numbers. This information is worth millions. You pay him $50,000 a month. He sends you encrypted files, production data, export schedules, OPEC meeting outcomes before they're announced. Saudi Arabia announces production cuts. You bought contracts 3 weeks ago when Hassan tipped you off. You make $3 million in 1 day. This is insider trading. But for commodities, the rules are looser. The enforcement is weaker. The profits are bigger.
Level 3, the market manipulator. You're 40. You control a $5 billion oil trading fund. When you buy, prices rise. When you sell, prices fall. You're big enough to create trends, to trigger algorithms, to force other traders to follow you. You've learned how to weaponize this power. You identify Cushing, Oklahoma, the major WTI crude storage hub. You buy futures contracts for physical delivery, 10 million barrels, then 20 million, then 30 million. Other traders are short. They need to buy back contracts, but you own most of the available supply. The price spikes. They're forced to buy from you at inflated prices. You make $200 million in 2 weeks. The CFTC investigates. They find nothing illegal. You coordinate with other large funds, informal arrangements, dinners, golf, conversations off the record. You're all buying, prices rise. You're all selling, prices crash. The market looks like chaos. It's orchestrated by you and a dozen others. You control global oil prices, not OPEC, not supply and demand. You. Level 4, the OPEC insider. You're Saudi. You work for the Saudi Oil Ministry. You're 45, a key advisor on OPEC policy. Your decisions affect the global economy, oil prices, inflation, GDP growth, recessions, wars. Everything connects to oil. You're at the meeting in Vienna, 13 OPEC nations, plus Russia and allies, OPEC plus. You're discussing production quotas. Cut production, prices rise. Increase production, prices fall. I recommend cutting 2 million barrels per day. This will increase prices by $15 per barrel. Saudi Arabia makes $300 million more per day, but American consumers pay 50 cents more per gallon. Inflation rises. The global economy slows. You know this. You don't care. Your job is Saudi interests, not global interests. The vote passes. Production cuts announced. Oil jumps from $75 to $95 per barrel in 3 days. Your American contacts knew this was coming. You told them at dinner 2 weeks ago. They made hundreds of millions. You get paid in favors, investments, consulting fees to your brother's company. Everyone wins, except regular people paying for gas. Level 5, the hedge fund manager. You're 50. You run a $20 billion macro hedge fund. You don't just trade oil. You trade everything. Currencies, bonds, stocks, commodities. But oil is special. Oil moves everything else.
You've built a system, satellite imagery tracking oil tankers worldwide, AI analyzing OPEC member speeches for keyword changes, paid informants in oil ministries across the Middle East. You know what's happening before the market does, before governments announce it, before it's news. The Ukraine war starts. Everyone expects oil prices to explode. Russia is the second largest oil exporter. Sanctions will cut supply. But you know something others don't. Your contacts in Saudi Arabia told you they'll increase production. They'll fill the gap. Oil won't spike as much as people think. Everyone's buying oil futures, expecting $150 per barrel. You're selling. You're shorting. They're wrong. You're right. Oil peaks at 120, then crashes to 80. You make $2 billion while everyone else loses. This isn't luck. This is information asymmetry. This is having better sources than everyone else. This is the game.
Level 6, the government regulator. You're not in the cartel. You're supposed to stop the cartel. You work for the CFTC, Commodity Futures Trading Commission. You're a senior enforcement attorney. You've been doing this for 15 years. You know what's happening. You see the patterns, the coordinated trading, the suspicious profits, the market manipulation. But proving it is nearly impossible. These traders are smart. They don't leave evidence. No emails saying let's manipulate prices, no recorded calls planning squeezes. Just patterns, correlations, coincidences that aren't coincidences. You've tried to build cases. They fall apart. Their lawyers are better than yours. Their resources are unlimited. Your budget gets cut every year. You're outgunned. Then someone approaches you. A trader from Goldman says he can provide information, names, strategies, evidence, but he wants immunity and $2 million. You can't offer that. You don't have authority. You don't have budget. He walks away. The case dies. This happens repeatedly. You're fighting a war you can't win. 5 years ago, you believed in the system. Now you're looking at private sector jobs. Compliance director at an oil trading firm. $400,000 a year. 3 times your government salary. Your former targets are offering you jobs. The revolving door spins. You'll probably take one. Everyone does eventually.
Level 7. The whistleblower. You're 38. You are a senior trader at a major oil trading firm. You participated in the manipulation, the coordination, the insider trading. You made $10 million over 5 years, but you couldn't live with it anymore. The 2022 energy crisis, oil and gas prices spiking, people choosing between heating and food. You knew it was partially manufactured. You and your colleagues pushed prices higher than they needed to be, amplified the shortage, profited from suffering. You decided to expose it. You contacted the SEC, the CFTC, the DOJ. You provided emails, recordings, trading records, evidence of coordination between major oil trading funds, evidence of insider information from OPEC sources, evidence of systematic market manipulation. You thought you'd be protected. Whistleblower laws, rewards, immunity. You were wrong. The investigation moves slowly. Your former employer figures out you're the source. They can't fire you directly. That's illegal retaliation. But they make your life hell. Impossible deadlines, bad performance reviews, isolation. You quit. You can't find another job in finance. You're blacklisted. Everyone knows you're the whistleblower. Nobody will touch you. Your $10 million is gone. Legal fees, divorce, lifestyle you can't maintain. You're broke at 40. The case is still pending. 5 years later. No charges filed. No reforms made. The manipulation continues. You destroyed your life for nothing. The system protected itself. You're the only casualty.
Level 8, the end. The crash comes in 2025. Oil prices hit $180 per barrel, the highest ever. The global economy can't sustain it. Recession hits. Demand collapses. Prices crash to 40. The trading firms that were long are devastated, billions in losses. The banks that finance them are exposed. Credit markets freeze. It's 2008 again, but worse. The government steps in. Bailouts. Again. Taxpayer money. Again.
The traders who caused it faced no consequences. Again, some firms fail, most survive. The executives keep their bonuses, keep their houses, keep their yachts. The middle class pays the price. Job losses, foreclosures, retirements destroyed. You're 50 now. You've been trading oil for 25 years. You made $200 million. You lost $150 million in the crash. You still have $50 million. You retire. You buy a villa in the south of France. You tell people you worked in finance. You don't mention what you really did, how you manipulated markets, how you profited from global suffering, how you contributed to the system that extracts wealth from ordinary people and concentrates it among the few. You sleep fine. You've rationalized it. You were just playing the game. Everyone else was doing it too. If you didn't do it, someone else would. The system is the problem, not you. These are the lies you tell yourself, because the truth is too heavy. The truth is you chose greed over everything else, and you do it again. The oil cartel still exists. Different faces, same game. The manipulation continues. The insider trading continues. The market rigging continues, because the incentives haven't changed, the regulations haven't changed, and the people in power profit from the status quo. And that's how it feels to be each rank in the oil market cartel.